Namaskar and welcome to our special program today. We are honored to have with us two remarkable personalities who have made significant contributions in their respective fields and need no introduction. That is Dr. L. Subramaniam, a virtuoso violinist and composer par excellence. He has mesmerized audiences worldwide, and with his exceptional talent and dedication to Indian classical music. And alongside him, I know she also doesn't need any introduction. She is the incredibly talented singer, Bollywood icon, and I would say my singing queen, the romantic singing queen, that is Kavita Krishnamurthy ji, whose melodious voice has touched the hearts of many. So let's get to know them as they talk about their remarkable journeys and the cultural legacy they continue to preserve with unwavering passion. The good news is that they will soon be visiting New York City to mesmerize once again all of us at a concert. It's called Bollywood and Beyond, which is organized by the Town Hall and Indo-American Arts Council on July 20th at 8 p.m. So let's welcome both of them. Namaskar and welcome to ITV Gold, Dr. Subramaniam and Kavita ji. How are you guys doing today?
Namaskar, great pleasure to be with you and talk to you.
Nice introduction. Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine, and as you can see, I'm so excited, having you guys on my show. But first of all, I want you both to share your musical journeys with us. But let me, of course, start with my romantic queen, of course, Kavita ji. Your voice, of course, has been the voice of romance for all of us, not just one person. I would say if I see a lot of people here in my studio, I'll say everybody will say that, Kavita ji's voice is the voice of romance. So how did that, how did you discover your love for this singing?
Well, actually, I think in my family, all of us were born with a love for music that is there. And I think learning music became very important because we felt it was a very important part of our cultural development. And we started learning music, but I really never thought that I would, be a professional singer.
Mm-hmm.
That came much later. Well, in high school, I really thought, since I was born and brought up in Delhi in a very government kind of an atmosphere, my father was a government servant, I thought I would be in IFS or something like that. But the point of contact for Bollywood was Hema Malini ji. She is a Delhi girl, and I used to see her from my childhood. She and my sister were best friends, and she was in and out of my house. She became a huge dream girl, and that's the time my aunt, who she took my hand and she said, "I'll take you." She was my Bengali aunt. She said, "I'm taking you to Bombay. I see your future in playback singing." And it's just that at that point of time, I allowed her to make these decisions for me. And I went to college, started singing. Then I sang for college day function and got an offer by Hemant Kumarji to come and sing with him on stage. And really that started the whole thing, because very soon after that, he called me to a studio and I sang 4 lines with Lataji for a Bengali film. And then subsequently introduced me to Manada. Then I traveled with Manade. All this happened in college, and I think by the time I finished college, I really realized that I truly love music, and this is the only thing I wanted to do in my life. And I think then my path was clear cut for me.
The question that came to my mind is, of course, when I was researching you, that you have learned the Hindustani, basically classical music. While as I think if in India, like I'm from North, I would learn Hindustani. You're from South, it would be like Carnatic music. I was just wondering, why not Carnatic music? Why didn't you learn that? Why this Hindustani classical music?
That's because my mother got married when she was very young, and she had learned Carnatic music very well. But since I was in Delhi, it was very difficult to find a Carnatic music teacher. And she said that while it's not, if I get a teacher who's not very good for you, it's not worth it. So I'm going to look for a good Hindustani music teacher for you in Delhi. It would be easier to get a better teacher for you here in that school of music. And that's exactly what happened. I first started learning Tagore music because I used to live right across Kalibadi temple from a lady called Sulma Basu. I started learning Tagore music and then went straight on to Hindustani because we found a wonderful teacher in Hindustani music.
Wonderful.
So I used to listen to, once listen to Carnatic music like M.S. Subbulakshmi, and because that music was on in my house sometimes, and those LPs used to come. But still, I became more a Hindustani music person than a Carnatic music person.
Lovely. And
Carnatic music came much later in my life, too.
so, your songs, as you can hear them everywhere. Today, even, if you go to weddings, you go to parties, your songs are always there. I'm sure you go to parties too. So, how do you feel about it when people are still singing your songs, they're dancing on your songs? How does it feel?
Of course, you feel very, very thrilled. And I certainly feel thrilled. And at the same time, I feel it's a miracle because throughout my path, throughout my journey, I felt at all the right time. I met all the right people and I got the right breaks. And then one thing led to another. And then songs which I would sing in the studio, and then I realized it was a blockbuster film like Subhash Guys. All that later on seemed like a dream come true for me. And even now, when I hear people listening to my songs and saying, "Oh, this is a fantastic song," sometimes I still believe me. I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes I still have to pinch myself and say, "Really, you've sung for so many decades and you've sung so many thousand songs." Wow, then I feel impressed with myself. That comes much later, of course.
I
I
know.
still have to, sometimes I still feel it's incredible. It's incredible that I got all these opportunities, and seriously, my gratitude to all the people who made it possible, because without them, I would have been nothing.
But I really, whenever I talk to my friends over here, especially, people who have been born and raised here, and I talk about you, I talk about your songs, and they really are mesmerized by, your singing and the way your voice is. It's like really amazing. So now let me next go to, of course, Dr. Subramaniam, sir. I know you are just waiting and watching, I need to talk to, but let me start, tell me, back when vocal music was all the rage, how did you decide to pick up the violin and how did it lead you to the fame?
Basically, my father was a violinist and a singer, Carnatic tradition. And my sisters, they were taught to sing. My elder brother was playing the violin. So he wanted me to start singing. So I learned vocal initially. Then when I was around 2 years old, so I had diphtheria. So they thought my father thought I might lose my voice, so he wanted me to learn an instrument. He wanted me to learn something different than violin. But then I told him I like to learn the violin because I wanted to be like my father. He was my hero, he was everything. So that I convinced him, so I started learning the violin. But in those days, violin was basically an accompaniment instrument, side instrument, not a main solo instrument. So my father's dream was to create some techniques and new techniques, left hand, right hand techniques, so that in the global stage, our Indian violin should be also respected like what they are respecting Western classical violinists. It was not there at that time. So we developed a lot of technique and a lot of the things taught to us, and I used to practice a lot. Then 1970s, once I finished my medicine, when I was in second year of medicine, my father made me play in front of a German violinist who was visiting Madras to perform. So he told my father, he has a great potential. Why don't you send him to Germany with me? I'll give him full scholarship. He can become an international violinist. In fact, that was learning Western music and being a part of Western ensemble. So a lot of the orchestral pieces add certain concepts. When you come to films, film music basically, as I see it, like there are different characters. You have a theme, try to, in a way, nutshell, give the whole movie's feeling, but then you also have to enhance the different characters of the movie, whether it's a villain or a hero or a heroine.
Right.
Looking for film is a different thing.
Absolutely. And now I want of course, my romantic queen to talk, and I want her to talk about you two. Tell me, how did you guys both meet?
Well, actually, of course, I had heard of him as a musician, and I met him in a studio in Bombay when he was doing a film project, which later on didn't happen, but the song got recorded. and it was a duet with Hariharan. And I got a call saying that Dr. Subramaniam is recording a song and he would like you to do the female part. And that's how I met him in the studio. And one thing led to another. There were a couple of things. He wanted me to sing fusion. That caused a lot of confusion in me because I'd never sung fusion before. And I didn't even know. Dr. Subramaniam, I don't know what fusion is. He said, look, I'm going to record this in Bangalore. Why don't you come and hear the piece and see what you can do? And then he gave me a few guidelines. And I enjoyed doing the song because it was an album called Global Fusion, where he had people from 5 continents, and I was representing the Indian voice. And that it was for Warner Brothers France. So anyway, it was very interesting to do because there was a Latin American guitarist and him playing and Indian percussion and Latin American feel. So it was very nice. I did that and then a couple of other projects, and one thing led to another. And I think we felt a little more than just meeting in the studio, you know what I mean? And by that, actually, I was a confirmed bachelor. I never thought I would marry. But I did feel a sense of, affinity with him. And then when he popped up the question, but I had my dignity. I said, I'm not going to even show that I'm interested in marriage. But he popped up the question. And once he popped up the question, I really felt my heart immediately, spontaneously, I felt this was the person I'd been waiting for. And there was no hesitation, and everything actually happened very quickly. And after that, we've continued our path in music, and he's just been such a great support for me in my personal life and also in my career, in my music. He's there for me as a really like a strength, a support, and so many things to learn from him as a serious classical musician. There's so many things to learn from him. Of course, I can spend an age learning still, but I'm so grateful to God that I have him in my life, really, truly.
Awesome. But how has the shift been for you, being a playback singer and now doing all the live shows with him?
Shows are really fun with him because Bollywood and beyond, I of course do my Bollywood hits. And then I sing a little bit of some of the fusion songs with him. Some of them are instrumental and some of them have a voice element in it. And for me, I still always have to be on toes when I perform with him because basically, Indian classical music is such a strong system of music that anybody who learns Indian classical music very well can improvise at a jiffy. They can just go up on stage. In his case, it's not only the raga, he knows Western music, so he knows the harmonies. Whereas somebody who's learned only Indian classical will know the raga improvisation, but somebody like him can do it within the harmony. Therefore, I really have to be on my toes because though I have learned classical music, I have been in Bollywood for many years. I have learned how to learn 5-minute songs, 6-minute songs, how to render them in front of the microphone, starting off with those days when you had to do it with an orchestra and at one stretch. There was no dubbing facilities or no facility where you could just sing line by line. Then cut to today's day where you can really sing a few lines, a few words and put your song together. So I am good with lyrics, I'm good with learning 5-minute songs, but to go up on stage and to be, sometimes to sing freely, all these things, it takes time, it takes a different kind of practice. I would say I've achieved a great degree of proficiency in it, but so that for me, every time I perform with him, these kind of things, I'm still learning and I enjoy the learning process because there's so much to learn. Those harmonies are not evade me, but there's so much to learn about ragas.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's no concert I feel can be taken for granted. I can't definitely say, oh, this is what I'm going to sing with him in this concert. It doesn't happen that way.
Right.
There's always a surprise element for me.
Absolutely. And, Dr. Subramaniam, sir, being a family full of musicians, are there days when you all are practicing together?
Yes.
Yeah, we do that.
Our children are in music too, yeah.
Yeah, because my daughter Bindu sings and she's a songwriter, she did things in Berkeley. And my son Ampi is a professional violinist, he does a lot of work on his own. So then my granddaughter also joins us. Recently we were Siberia and places like that where
So it's nice. It's great fun when all of us are together, and of course we.
Music brings us together and we enjoy doing things together.
Like people say, yeah, eat and play together for us is definitely be in music together. And we
Wonderful.
get to sometimes travel together. It's so nice to be as a family and we're trying to support each other. Sometimes my voice may not be at its best. My daughter may have a cold, but we're trying to say, no, no, you're going to be very good. Go, come on, do your best. So it's so nice to have the family with us.
So are there like still times when you all are practicing together and Subramaniam sir will be telling you, no, Kavita, you didn't do this good, do it again?
As you know, he's actually a very kind person. He up to now he has never told me you're not doing good. On the other hand, I'm the one who keeps saying, Ellis, I know I didn't hit the notes right, and I know it wasn't very good. He said, you know what? You need to have confidence. You need to tell yourself you're the best in the world. You're the best. Then you tell me read Miss Muhammad Ali's book. He says you're the best. So he keeps telling me, how do you say that you're not singing well? You sing very well now. You're going to continue to do that. So he boosts me up, though sometimes I really know that I haven't done very well. But he sometimes have a very mischievous mind. When I miss a note, he'll just turn and look at me and I know I've missed the note.
All right,
Honestly speaking, I've heard so many concerts of his, so many classical concerts,
right.
fusion. Touch wood, so far I've never seen him missing notes. He's just too much, he's too pitch perfect. He can't unka. It's very, very sharp with shrutis and pitching.
Absolutely,
Excellent.
absolutely. Even I have seen a lot of concerts of actually both of you together, and I salute both of you. I mean, those are all mesmerizing concerts. So now let's get to your performance, which you are performing at the Indo-American Arts Council event at Town Hall on July 20th at 8 p.m. And so tell me, are there any particular like pieces or moments you think will resonate deeply with the audience?
Well, of course, I think people like to hear my popular songs. And still now, even now, if I have to sing, let's say, a song like Tu Hi De, or Dil Ne Kaha Chupke Se, or Devdas, or Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, people like it very much. And so for me, it's Hawa Hawai, all these songs. I look forward to sharing because every time I sing these songs, there are different responses by different. And then sometimes my backup musicians are different for different concerts. This time we also have the wonderful the tabla player Pandit Tanmay Bose with us, and we have a couple of very nice musicians joining in from New York also, who play fusion with my husband, and they are his guests. So this team of musicians always changes now. New York also I've got some 2-3 musicians who are going to be different for me. So I'm going to see a couple of songs. If these American musicians join into a film for a film song, how are they going to improvise and play it behind me? So all that is going to be fun.
Absolutely, and we all are looking forward to this concert. So I just wanted to ask this question for Subramaniam sir. So tell me, how do you see like the role of traditional Indian music in contemporary times right now? So do you think the efforts IAAC is putting right now, do you believe it's necessary to preserve and promote the culture?
I think it's very, very essential to preserve and promote our roots. Our roots and our culture. And also the greatness about our culture is even when you talk about music, music is very, very important for intellectual, emotional and spiritual growth. And what is music? Because normally we use one side of the brain for all the other things, but music we use the other side of the brain, which is not used at all. Which create for the spontaneous creativity, that's what it helps. What we do in music, take 5 notes or 6 notes, then we try to improvise for 1 hour or 45 minutes, just basically with combination of these 5 notes. If you repeat the same pattern twice, people will get bored. So every time we build it up, where the combination is different, the dynamics are different, the emotions are different, the slides, the gamakas, ornamentation, all those things in a multiple layer we try to do, play around with the 5 notes. spontaneously. So if anybody who learns music, it is going to be a positive thing in any field. So for us, our roots are Indian culture from Vedic times, one of the most advanced. Now more and more we are trying to realize that otherwise, as a time people always thought, Western culture is the best one and this and that. But it is, I don't think so because we have such a great culture and it will never disappear because you see, even if you see today in Western music, Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart, who did much earlier, still any major concert, you will hear their compositions. Even though they are not there, they composed it in 17th century and 18th century, but still, those compositions based on the classical tradition are very strongly appreciated. Like there are audiences for that, but also doing this kind of fusion crossover and everything, the present generation we are able to reach. Because the present generation, younger generation, because you are born and brought up in different ways, you get to listen to more of a different kinds of thing. Then that becomes a familiar song. You start appreciating that more. Then there's a peer pressure. So all those things totally, try to mold your thought and thinking process and everything. But then if you also listen to this and get used to this, then you are at a different level. You are in a very advantageous position. You know not only your culture but other culture also.
So, before we close today's show, I just can we get like a teaser from, especially, Kavita ji, you, that, what our audiences can expect?
Definitely my popular songs and some fusion pieces from him. And when you say a teaser, I guess you want me to sing a line, is that?
Absolutely,
Is that so?
yes.
Well, can you tell me which song you would like me to sing?
Any song, whatever is your favorite song, you can sing it.
I have so many of them. Okay. बिजली गिरानी बेहुआई बिजली गिरानी बेहुआई कहते हैं मुझको हवा हवाई.
Very nice. That was really, really nice. That was really nice. And this is one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah. And I thought we'll tell the audience कि हम दोनों बिजली गिराने आ रहे हैं.
Definitely, आप बिजली गिराने आ रहे हैं. Absolutely. That is on July 20th, and you will be, here. And I'm sure everybody is looking forward to this event.
Thank you so much, and just lovely, splendid talking to you.
Same here, and thank you so much, and wishing you all the best, and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Looking forward to meeting you on the 20th.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. All the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.